6:30. And we have a new student representative with us tonight, Annabelle Werner. And thank you for being here. We look forward to spending some great time with you. And if you would like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you for having me.
You can do it there or here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, one republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Annabelle, would you like to say a couple words about where you are, what school you're at, and what grade, and why you are here?
All right. My name is Annabelle Werner. I go to Valley Oaks Charter School. I'm a junior this year, and I'm here because I was invited and I thought it sounded like a great opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
It is a great opportunity, and you will learn a lot. Roll call, please.
Julie Beechner.
Here.
Joe Marcano.
Here.
Mary Little.
Here.
Jose Gonzalez. Lori Eskew.
Here.
James Robinson.
Here.
Lori Cisneros.
Here.
Annabelle Werner.
Here.
Thank you.
Adoption of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
I do want to add one thing on the agenda tonight that I forgot to put in, and it will be on the AACBE, and who we want to nominate for that position. So can I get a motion for that, please?
Motion. Motion to add that.
And Julie, second? Okay, we can put that on the end of the action items on 4.27, if that's okay? Okay. Thank you. Approval of minutes from July 8th, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. It's been first and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So ordered, thank you. And we have public comments.
Yes.
Okay.
Paul Linfesti.
And would the board, how many do we have for Title IX?
10 for Title IX.
10? Okay. And then how many in total?
13 in total. 1 public comment, 2 comments on AB 495, and then the 10 on Title IX.
Okay. Would the board like to hear them all now, or would you like to hear the Title IX on the specific item agenda as well as the 495?
Now, we'll be discussing 495, right?
Yes.
Okay. So are you talking about having the comments just prior to that?
Yes.
That's how you want to arrange
Before
that?
the discussion, before our discussion.
Yeah, I think that would make a lot of sense, yes.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll have the 1 public comment at this time. Thank you.
Paul Linfesti.
Wait, hold off until the Title IX section.
Okay.
I have a card for that as well.
Okay.
All right, thank you. So no public comments at this time. And we're going for an informational item, and we now have a presentation by Erin Rogers from the Bakersfield Pregnancy Center, and I'm going to give this over to Trustee Cisneros for further explanation.
Well, thank you. And we'll welcome Erin Rogers to speak. Today, I mentioned at the last board meeting that I attended a prayer breakfast, and I sat next to another person who works for the Bakersfield Pregnancy Center, and she mentioned that the Pregnancy Center was interested in sharing what you offer for students and young people in the community. So thank you for being here, and I'm looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you very much. It is a great honor to be here. My name is Erin Rogers. I'm the Executive Director of the Bakersfield Pregnancy Center. We've been often told that we are one of the best kept secrets in Kern County because you don't know about us until you need to know about us. But that's okay. In the last 40 years that we've existed as a nonprofit here in the community, we've served over 50,000 individuals here in Kern County. And we are a faith-based nonprofit, but we are also equally a licensed primary care-free clinic so that we can provide medical services for women who are facing pregnancy decisions. Our mission statement is that we provide life-affirming options to women and men making pregnancy and sexual health decisions. All of our services are free and confidential. We never charge or bill insurance for any service that a client receives. We provide free pregnancy testing, ultrasounds, STI testing and treatment. We also provide parenting classes, material assistance, things like diapers, wipes, formula, clothing, strollers, cribs, car seats, as well as individual advocacy and support for those who come to our center. We also provide all of those services in English and in Spanish, and we also have a fatherhood program. It's one of the first fatherhood programs in the nation. We received a large grant 2 years in a row to begin a fatherhood outreach, a fatherhood program, and we've taken our fatherhood program outside the walls of the Bakersfield Pregnancy Center and into our community, teaching fatherhood classes at in Kernville at the incarceration center there to the young men at Camp Owens and also to the mission at Kern. We have also partnered with CityServe recently to provide teen parenting classes specific for those teens who are pregnant, and we're excited about that partnership. We also reach beyond the walls of our center by partnering with important community organizations like Kern County Public Health on things like STI testing, and recording data and getting that data out, doing education. We also work with them on the Black Infant and Maternal Health Initiative. We also collaborate with the Dream Center, providing resources to them, as well as Safely Surrendered, which is another very important law in California. We are a vital part of the campaign during February to bring awareness to Safely Surrendered, working with the neighborhood collaborative meetings and getting that information out. It is a joy to do this work. We are proud of the work we do, but we're mostly just honored when we receive comments like this from the clients that we serve. This client said, "I love what this place has to offer. To those who may be scared and those who aren't, guidance that is given is amazing." This other client said, "I love the tons of information and support to help with any needs about pregnancy. I love connecting about sharing our faith and giving glory to God for the baby at this center. May God bless you." This one male client wrote about his advocate that he met with. He cared. Those are pretty powerful words. This other client said, "I really enjoyed the peaceful and supportive nature of this facility. Thank you for making me feel seen and loved." And so those are just some of the comments that we receive from our clients. 98% of the clients that leave our center give us a favorable review. And as we serve our clients, we know that we are providing the vital services that they need in a county in which OB providers are limited. We have a severe drought in Kern County of OB services. And the Bakersfield Pregnancy Center is helping to fill that gap by establishing a viable pregnancy, getting her prenatal vitamins, which are also free, that first ultrasound to determine that she has a viable pregnancy in utero, and then also helping her get established with a local provider. One of our number one goals is to get her into prenatal care. And we can help bridge that gap where many clients are finding it very difficult to find good prenatal care. And we're privileged to do that. We love doing it. We are overseen by 2 medical directors, Dr. Juan Lopez, OBGYN. He's also head of OBGYN services at Kern Medical and Omni. And Dr. Eugene Roos is a doctor of radiology. He oversees all of our ultrasound services and reads every scan within 24 hours, as is required by the state. So that's kind of us in a nutshell. One of the most common questions is, how are we funded? If we give everything for free, how in the world do we get any money? Well, we don't receive any federal or state money. All of our services are supported by individual donors, churches in the Kern County community. We do receive some private grants, if I'm a good grant writer and can get that. And then some businesses also. Workplace giving gives a little bit but 67% of all of our funding just comes from individuals like you who make a donation to the Pregnancy Center. And so we just depend on our community to support us, and we are grateful for such a compassionate, generous community that they do that. And it sets us up as one of the largest pregnancy centers in the nation.
Wow.
And so I think Kern County has a lot to be very proud of in what we do here at the Bakersfield Pregnancy Center. Thank you for allowing me to share, and I'll take any questions. Yes, sir.
I had the opportunity to tour the center back a couple of years ago with a class of mine. What do you think is the reason for the drought that you're having with obstetrician? Is that how it's pronounced?
Yes, OBGYNs.
Oh, yeah.
Well, number one, medical malpractice insurance for OBGYNs is the highest in all the fields of medicine. So much can go wrong during a pregnancy, and often the doctor is made to blame for that. There's also, if you can deliver babies in Santa Barbara, why wouldn't you? There's that. So, and it's just very hard to get people to move to Kern County and practice medicine.
Thank you. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
What's your youngest client's age?
That's a great question. The youngest client that we've ever served was 11. The oldest was 60.
60? Wow.
The 11-year-old was pregnant, but the 60-year-old was not. So we don't put age limits, but the majority of the clients that we serve are between 25 and 30. The second demographic is the 18 to 24-year-olds, and the third demographic is 30 to 35, and the fourth demographic is 12 to 17. We are mandated reporters, so when we have a situation in which someone under the age of 17 has become pregnant, of course, we look at what the state requires, but if they're under 14, it's automatic reporting to law enforcement.
Thank you.
And if a young person is thinking they're pregnant or they're scared, they're not sure what to do, how do they find you?
We have two locations. We're at 1801 18th Street, just down the block, so we're your neighbor here. And then 9900 Stockdale Highway, Suite 109, right across the street from Mercy Southwest Hospital and across the street from Cal State Bakersfield as well. You can find us at our website at wehelpyou.org, and that's really easy to remember. And they can visit us at either location. All of our services at both locations for medical are provided. Our support services like parenting classes are only offered downtown.
Thank you again. Any
Thank
further
you.
questions? Thank you
Thank
so
you.
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you. Your services are very much needed.
Thank you.
Okay, we're on informational item 3.2 with an update on AB 84, and Dr. Mendenborough is going to lead that.
Thank you. Just wanted to update the board in regards to AB 84. You sent a resolution to the state regarding this bill, AB 84. There has been some traction in regards to moving more towards the no side. So I'm just going to give you some numbers. Carlos Rojas, our governmental relations officer, he gave me some numbers. So back in April, the Education Assembly voted 7-2 for this bill. Then it moved to the Appropriations Assembly in May, and it was a 10-3. So then it advanced to the Assembly floor in June, and it was a 43-25 no, which was surprising.
That was Assembly Bill, sorry.
This was Assembly Bill, or no, this was Assembly Bill 84.
Right.
So in Assembly 4, it was a 25 no to 43, which was very surprising at that point in time. It was a mixture of both Democrats and Republican numbers on that one. Then it moved to the Senate Education in July, where there was only 4 yeses and 2 nos. The non-representative, meaning they weren't there to vote, grew each time. When it was on the Assembly floor, there was 11 legislators who did not show up for the vote. Since then, there's been a lot of modifications and changes to AB 84. Some of the highlights for you, if approved, the audit and accounting standards, it aligns the charter schools to have their audits very similar to a public school district, including all audit timelines, procedures, and the use of the SACS form. That's the form that is reported to Sacramento. Each county office receives the district SACS form, and then it gets submitted to the state. Charter schools do not have to submit that. Theirs is all Excel spreadsheets. It does require all school auditors to complete a targeted training. Right now, they can use whoever they desire. It does also establish an Inspector General office under the School Board of Education to investigate all charter-related misconduct. Right now, they do not have one. Charter schools would retain the existing funding determination. Basically, that means charter schools get a flat rate for each student that attends, whereas a public school receives the LCFF formula. They also receive some type of the LCFF formula, but it's more of an exact number than how it's based on public schools, or non-charter public schools. School contractors, this is a big one for the charters. It prohibits, under this new rule, will prohibit charter schools from contracting with private religious organization or schools. Right now, charters can contract with whomever they would like. It prohibits contract structure as a percentage of a school revenue. Right now, some contractors or people that are signed on with charters, they make agreements with the charter, say we will take 50% of your revenue from the state and we'll perform these services. Whereas a public non-charter cannot do that. It does prohibit employee bonuses or compensation tied to student attendance or course completion.
Does that mean a private vendor as well? Do you know?
All vendors,
All vendors, okay.
where they can't get a percentage of the revenue. Right now, private can, they do a basic rate, $75 an hour or $7,500, and I do X, Y, and Z. Some contractors will come in and say, I will take a percentage of your revenue. And that's what they're trying to not allow. Also, the bonuses, as I mentioned, they are requiring authorizers, which like Kern County Superintendent of Schools would be an author, our Kern Board of Education would require them to have key compliance areas, attendance, accounting, enrollment, teacher-student ratios, classroom-based instructional minutes, audit compliance monitoring, credit card and electronic expenses. We already adhere to almost all of these, so that would not be a big change to any of our charters in our county. Student attendance data reform would require the California Department of Education to study the feasibility of integrating CalPADS with the state's ADA system. Right now, charters are exempt from submitting any information to CalPADS, and that's where the state gets all their information, from attendance to discipline to you name it. And then it tracks where the child goes from county to county, district to district. District authorized capacity, it does cap authorizing capacity for districts with fewer than 10,000 ADA to no more than 100% of their own ADA. Right now, some districts within the state have more charters than they have in their own district, but they authorize those charters. So this is trying to cap that. It does allow existing charters to remain, non-classroom based charters to remain with small district authorizers if the district has at least 4 full-time executive staff members. That doesn't pertain here in Kern. Ours are all larger than that. It does require the School Board of Education to reassign any non-school based charters that exceed this threshold to a larger authorizer. So if they're in a tiny county or tiny district and they exceed this threshold, then State Board of Education will require that charter to move to a larger district or county office. It lifts the statutory moratorium on approval of new non-classroom charter schools as of December 31st of 2025. So those are some of the highlights of the changes that came from the original to now, so it's more aligned to how local public, non-charter public schools operate. The governor, or it will go to the committee, back to the appropriations committee on August 18th, where they will do another vote. If it does pass, then it will go to the governor, and the governor has until September 12th to amend or sign into law AB 84. I talked to Carlos this afternoon just to make sure nothing had changed from this, and he said the latest that came out of Sacramento today was it potentially, it's not a deal yet, but it potentially could become a 2-year bill.
It go into the suspense file.
Yes. So what that means is it does not go into play this year. They will have all of next year to still look at this if they choose, or as Mary mentioned, it would go into the it goes away file. So,
And if it goes in a suspense file, it's hard to resurrect.
yep, because then they would have to start completely over again, and there's been a lot of opposition to this bill.
Isn't there another file that they might put this in without passing it, where it could be folded into another piece of legislation? And if that's approved, then AB 84 would, all the stipulations in AB 84 would also be approved?
I don't think so.
No, what they would have to do, it would be a whole new bill. They could take, if there's another existing bill that's comparable or similar to this, they could take into next year, take some of this language and embed it, but we don't know of any similar bill that would align with this type of accounting.
And it would have to be a similar bill.
It would have to be a
If they were
similar
gonna
bill if
back
they
order
would,
like that.
yeah.
Okay.
And so right now, the latest is they're gonna look at moving it to a 2-year bill, is what they call it, so that they can try to figure out what they're gonna do, because as I mentioned, there's just more and more opposition to it than there is support.
Thank you. And do we have the two, would you say two people that want to speak on AB 84?
It's AB 495.
Oh, it's AB 495, okay. Never mind.
I had a quick question too. As far as Valley Oaks Charter School, how will this impact the Valley Oaks Charter School?
Valley Oaks Charter is almost an exception to all of this,
Okay.
because Valley Oaks is completely operated and authorized by the County Office of Education, which is extremely rare in the state.
Okay.
So Valley Oaks already adheres to everything that AB 84 is trying to do somehow, some way. So we're good. So the vendors that we utilize would continue and remain. There's nothing that, as of right now, would prohibit us to change or would require us to change our operations for Valley Oaks.
Okay, and this could potentially have an effect on CAT and Realms and those charters? or-
Potentially, but again, most of those, or all of those charters right now adhere and follow very similar accounting operations. Some of it would be cleaned up, like they'd have to report through SACS, and they would have to report their attendance and different things, but we already require that,
Okay.
excluding SACS. That would be the new item, which actually would help us a lot more in monitoring how all charters are operating.
So we have a model in place that other charters could go in ahead and follow.
Yes, yeah, our Kern County has exceptional rapport and way how we operate the charters. We don't have as many as some other counties, but
Well, we were one of the first in the state that started a charter and operated it in Kern County. That's Valley Oaks.
yeah, Valley Oaks is one of
That's
the first
awesome.
in the state with where charters were what they are today.
Yeah.
And Kern County doesn't have as many as other counties, and almost all of the charters in Kern County, except for there's a few smaller ones, all are authorized by you as a Board of Education.
Awesome.
So everything's very similar and structured, and how we collect data and information is very similar to that of places, but we allow that flexibility that a charter is able to do, unlike non-charter.
So could we, I know we have charter, Valley Oaks is under us, so if something came down, could the other schools just come underneath us too, like Valley Oaks? No?
No, it's different. Valley Oaks was created back then during, I believe it was Larry Ryder, when he was the county super.
Larry Ryder.
Yeah. There was no place for students that wanted to have homeschool. And so the county office created a charter. Since then, when charters have been created, they're more for a specific purpose beyond that. And they either have gone through a school district or they come to us, but they're already in existence. So Kern County Superintendent Schools, Kern County Board of Education, allow the Kern County Superintendent of Schools to actually create a charter from the ground up. So everybody operates, Valley Oaks has their own board that's separate, advisory board and everything, but they're all employees of the county office and they operate as an extension of, whereas Grow and Wonderful are not an extension of us. They have their own independent board.
Okay. At one point, it sounded like there would be a possible cut in funding by 30% for these charters. I wasn't sure if you mentioned that in your list of things that you talked about. I know there's restrictions and now more regulations on how to comply, but is there any funding cuts that are coming?
As of right now, it remains as it was last year.
Okay,
There's no
good.
plan as of right now, but
Okay.
to be continued.
There was also some talk at one point about restricting the online offerings of any charter school. Is that still on the table?
Right now, everything is going to continue as is. There was no talk about that as far as curriculum type base at this point in time.
Any other further discussion by the board? Any questions?
And then I'll update you once we get a final from.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mendenborough. I appreciate that. Okay. We're on 3.3 Williams Act uniform complaint. It's our quarterly report by Molly Meyer, and she's the director, and it shows that we have no complaints were filed with any school district during the quarter indicated from October to July.
Yep. No Williams files at this point in time.
Thank you. And we're on item 3.4 DELAC minutes, and Dr. Mendenborough.
This is the annual approval, or not approval, just submittal to the Kern County Board of Education. The alternative ed program offers a DLAC component for all students, and family members are part of this committee, and it's just the minutes from that meeting, and so it has to be presented to a board, and you are the Board of Education, so you get it.
So we can peruse that and look at it at your leisure. Item 4.1, and Annabelle, you are free to vote with us if you'd like, except your vote doesn't count for, which one?
In a closed session or special board meeting.
Yeah, so, but if you want to vote yes or no with us, you're free to do that. 4.1, consent agenda, motion?
Motion.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So ordered. 4.2, general business, and we're on 4.21, discussion of possible action regarding opposition of AB 495, and we'll recall our first speaker.
Jess Sanders.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Just wanted to, congratulate her, and what she forgot to mention is anybody moving out of the stage of children can bring their well-preserved children items down there and donate them, and they reuse them. I'm here to say that AB 495, I'm in opposition to it, although it sounds like it might have been written with good intentions to protect the migrant children. It leaves wide open for anybody else to pick up your child with very little effort or even notifying your parents. It's written so that it just opens up Pandora's box for child molesters, child traffickers. It's poorly written. It's endorsed by Scott Wiener, who's endorsed many bills that support child molesters, MAPS, those are minor attracted persons or perverts, and it softens crimes. He has reached out to soften the crimes against children in those areas. So until that thing's rewritten so that the child is actually being protected throughout with a whole lot more checkpoints before somebody picks up my child or grandchild without notifying me. That's just absolute lunacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Jess.
Dennis McLean.
Good evening, Superintendent, board meetings. Thank you, Aaron, for what you and your group does. It's highly appreciated by the public. Good evening, board members. AB 495, misleadingly titled the Family Unity Preparedness Act, is being framed as a comprehensive measure to children of detained or deported migrant parents. But a closer look reveals something different. AB 495 opens the door for adults who are not the child's legal guardian and may not even be related to gain temporary custody with little more than a signature. Here's what the bill actually does. Allows any adult, including a non-relative with no legal connection to the family, to assume broad authority over a child by signing a caregiver affidavit, no court hearing, no background check, no oversight. Requires schools and licensed child care providers to implement policies that limit cooperation with immigration enforcement, even when the safety or identification of a child is in question. It also blocks schools and child care staff from gathering and reporting information related to a child's immigration status or the authority of custody arrangements. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it, we only have the two, all right. So we do have a discussion on that. Did you want to lead that, Trustee Cisneros?
Yes, thank you. And I was hoping that the resolution was in our packet, but I don't see it in here, the one that I submitted to bring forward.
Was it a resolution, or are we gonna oppose?
No, it was the one that you wrote?
It was, yes, the one that, it's in my email, but I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi at the moment. I wonder if you can get.
Do we have that,
Oh,
Merle?
John's bringing it up, he said. Okay, thank you. I know you emailed it back to me with the correct wording.
Can we get a copy of that right now?
Title
Would that
IX,
be-
but you did one for 495?
Yeah, there was supposed to be one for 495 in here.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any way we can get a copy
Okay.
of that right now for the board members?
So,
We got it.
So we can go ahead and start, and then we
Okay.
can get the resolution to us. All right, thank you.
just so everyone is aware of what AB 495 is, they're calling it the Family Preparedness Plan Act of 2025. And basically what it does is make it easier in California for any adult, relative or non-relative, to care for someone else's children or child temporarily during emergencies or family separations. So I think the intention in the wording is really more for families of illegal immigrants who have been deported and they don't have a place for the child to go. So on the outside of this bill, it looks like it's to protect children who don't have, who are in an emergency situation where the parents have been deported. But the problem with the bill, as Mr. McLean mentioned, and Mr. Sanders, that there's no background check, there's no accountability, and these people can put any child's name. It doesn't have to be of parents who are illegal immigrants. It could be any child on this form that they can fill out. And then the school, according to how it's worded right now, they can't stop anyone from coming in and claiming a child as their child to take care of. It's so scary to think this is actually happening in California. It's an extremely dangerous bill for children because of the lack of safeguards in place. And like I said, the news will tell you that it's a positive thing, but the truth is it can be abused so easily, and children are vulnerable. So I'm bringing this resolution to this board just for a few reasons. to help you to be aware in case you haven't heard of it yet, and to also discuss a resolution stating we oppose this bill as a board. I believe it's our duty to take a stand on this as a board of Kern County in California to say, no, we are not going to stand for AB 495. It violates parental rights under the Constitution, and it just puts children at such a dangerous risk. So I did follow Chino Valley's lead on this. They already have AB 495 written out, a resolution opposing it that had been approved by their attorneys, and I submitted it. I sent it to perfect Dr. Mendeborough and Trustee Little as our president, and I'd like to discuss this and take action on approving this resolution and then immediately send it to the author of the bill, the whole legislative committee in Sacramento, to the governor, and to anyone involved in this, opposing this. They will be voting on this next week,
August 18th.
August 18th, along with AB 84. It's going to be a big day in Sacramento. So I am urging the board to agree with me on this and put this in place, and so we can send it out tonight to make sure they receive it and know our stand as a county.
So can I just add to this? On the affidavit, you can actually just download it off the internet, and there's actually a box on that affidavit that says, I cannot even find the parent. So there's a box that you check, and it says, I don't know, I can't, the parent's unavailable. So anybody can go in, write your name, your address, your phone number, check the box, have the kid's name on there, child's name on there, take it to the school, and pull out any kid they want out of that school. Traffic, prostitute them, whatever they want to do to them. It is so vague. Like we said, the intent is good. The intent maybe was good. But if a person is going to be deported, we already have social services in place. Or you already have a form at school that says who can take your child out of school. So this is null and void. They don't even need to have this bill on the table. But there's a box, just says check the box, and anybody can come and get your child because they supposedly can't find the parent. So I'm in total agreement with Lori. But on the flip side, what is this board gonna do if it passes? Are we gonna be able to sue Newsom over this? Are we gonna take a stance as a county board and say we are disagreeing with this? Because this is scary if this passes. This is scary. This is legislation trafficking. And what if it's your child? What if it's your grandchild? Because I'll tell you right now, they're not coming to get any of my children or my grandchildren. I mean, people need to really think about this. They really need to think about this. This is not a political move. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. This is safety of children. Mm-hmm. And this board needs to take a stance if it passes. And I really hope we do.
Well, my 2 cents is it's legal kidnapping.
Yes.
And it thwarts the FERPA federal laws protecting our parental responsibilities and our parental rights. It can easily exploit children for trafficking, and the schools are going to be held liable, right? They're going to be put in the middle, because where else are you going to show up with a letter and say, here I am to get this child? And the schools are going to say, well, there's this form, I have to give this child to this person no matter what. Mm-hmm. And the child's going to say, I don't want to go. Is the school going to say, you have to go anyway? I mean, we have a responsibility to keep those children safe. And if it came down to it in Kern County, if this was passed, I would say we're not going to follow that rule. We're not going to follow that law. I would say we're going to break it and let the state come after us, because it's going to be happening everywhere. I would rather protect children than follow a law that's not going to protect children.
Also, too, I'm sorry, you through? Madam
No,
President?
just a second.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
A whole lot of words come to mind when I'm reading the bill text here, especially starting in section 2. If you look at section 2, number C, it just sounds like it's just a bunch of legal speak that doesn't say anything. All right, it talks about protecting the child, making caregiving or temporary caregiving arrangements a lot easier, and this, that, and the other, and saying, it says here, despite existing tools such as a caregiver authorization affidavit and guardianship nominations, families and caregivers face significantly uncertainty due to the lack of clarity, consistency, and enforceability of these mechanisms. So we're going to go ahead and bring in a mechanism that requires no enforcement. That's going to clean the whole thing up. Fixed it right there. Bravo, good for you, Sacramento. Short-term guardianship, supporting the stability of caregiving arrangements will mitigate the negative impacts on children's mental health. With this one form, anybody can come in, hey, guess what? You won't have to worry about your kid because some stranger now has them. So this is ludicrous. And I believe that we as a board should stand as the lesser magistrates that we are and just tell Sacramento flat out, we ain't gonna do it. We're not gonna allow it, not in this county. And I agree with Madam President here that we need to stand firm as a board and just say just tell them flat out no, and then let the chips fall as they may.
Yep.
That's about 3 cents worth, but that's my 2 cents worth.
The bill also includes medical treatment, so they can make decisions medically for a child, complete stranger. So I thank you for making copies of this. I think I should just read it out loud so that everyone listening in can know what it says. So, and this again was mirrored from the Chino Valley Unified School District, who has already put this in place and has had it approved by their attorneys. Whereas Assembly Bill 495, also known as the Family Unit and Preparedness Act, significantly alters California law by allowing non-parent adults, including, quote, mentors, distant relatives, or friends, to gain legal authority over children's education, health care, and legal decisions without consent from or notification to the child's legal parent or guardian. And whereas AB 495 creates a process for adults to initiate family unit plans and file them with the courts under seal, bypassing the parent and eliminating due process protections that normally apply to any change of custody or caregiving authority. And whereas all California public schools already require parents or guardians to complete an annual emergency contact card listing approved adults to be contacted or entrusted with the child in the event of an emergency, making AB 495's additional and secretive mechanism not only unnecessary, but an intentional bypass of parental authority. And whereas AB 495 introduces vague and undefined terms like mentor or trusted adult, and imposes no legal requirement for background checks, verification of relationship, or even court hearings before granting significant authority to non-parent individuals. And whereas AB 495 undermines the constitutional rights of parents to direct the upbringing, education, health care, and custody of their children, and instead empowers third parties and state institutions to intervene without transparency, oversight, or judicial review. And whereas this bill opens the door to potential exploitation, ideological manipulation, or political interference by allowing activist adults to gain control over minors without judicial scrutiny or parental input. And whereas the Kern County Board of Education affirms that parents are the primary decision makers in their children's lives, and schools exist to partner with families, not override them. Now therefore be it resolved that the Kern County Board of Education, 1, formally opposes Assembly Bill 495 and its provisions that allow for secretive and unauthorized transfer of legal authority over minors to non-parent adults. 2, affirms the constitutional rights of parents and legal guardians to make decisions regarding the education, healthcare, and custody of their children. 3, recognizes the sufficiency and legal authority of emergency contact cards and court-ordered custody agreements already in use across California school districts. 4, calls on the California State Legislature and Governor to reject AB 495 to restore parental rights, judicial transparency, and legal accountability. And 5, encourages school boards statewide to adopt similar resolutions to protect parental rights and preserve the integrity of family authority in the face of expanding state intervention.
Amen.
And then it says approved and adopted on this 12th day of August, 2025, at a regular meeting of the Board of Education, and then motion and ayes and noes and absence on here. So if the board agrees, I would like a space on this for each one of the trustees to sign, as well as the superintendent, showing that we are putting our name on this. And
So moved.
I don't think we have time if we are going to do that tonight, trustee Cisneros. For all of us, a space, I mean, we could all sign it,
Okay,
but I'm not sure that it would be able to go get a form right now and get it changed. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But we could all sign it if that's what you want.
Oh, just at the bottom.
Right,
I'm good with that, because I know it needs to get out, you know.
correct. So and
quickly,
I'm just
so-
thinking in the urgency of time.
Okay.
Is there any way of encouraging the other boards in Kern County to write one of these? Or would it be too late to get it out?
Dennis.
The majority of the school boards are meeting tonight. Some meet tomorrow. There's a few that will meet next week, and then there's a few at the last week of the month.
Okay, so it'd be kind of too late then.
Yeah, but this has gotten a lot of traction.
And it may not pass on the 18th, so they may have more time to work on it.
Okay.
Dr. Mendebro, would you be able to send out an email to the superintendents, just letting them know what we've done and what we've decided on?
Yes, because we
Okay,
do not have
great.
a superintendent meeting this month. We can email them
And maybe a
we will.
copy of the
And I'll send
resolution?
a copy of what the board approved.
Thank you.
Any further discussion, comments? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any comments? So ordered. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a much needed one. Pardon?
Make sure you can sign it before you go.
Yeah, make sure you sign it, and then trustee Cisneros, can you,
One signature on each one, or our signature on
Yeah,
one copy,
so
right?
we
One
can
copy,
send this out.
pass it, right?
Oh, let's.
Is that
yeah,
the
we
copy?
could do that, okay. And specifically, who did you want it sent to?
Specifically, the author of the bill, Gonzalez.
Yeah, I remember her first name. I
All
remember her
of
first name.
legislature,
Senate should get one,
and the governor,
and those three for sure.
And what about the State Board of Education?
and the State Board of Education. Everybody. Let's just send it to everybody.
Yeah, this is,
Well, we have to be
And Trump.
specific.
I like that.
Look what we're doing.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
that's
I
it.
think
Celeste
the-
Rodriguez. Joe looked it up.
Yes.
Celeste Rodriguez is her name.
Celeste Rodriguez. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, well, thank you, Board. And we're on action item 4.22, approval of memorandum of understanding between the Kern County Board of Education and Ridgecrest Elementary Academy for language, music, science, and charter renewal. Dr. Mendebro?
We have here tonight Kimberly Graham, Assistant Superintendent, can answer any questions. This is merely the MOU that we had worked on with Realms as their normal process of renewal. It meets everything that we had asked. So I'm not sure if Realms would like to speak, or if Kimberly would like to speak, or anyone wants to speak,
Any takers?
or if the board just wants to move to approve.
I'm ready to move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and second?
Motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any discussion? So ordered, thank you. And 4.23, and we do have public speakers for that. Tomorrow?
Lori Brashler.
Okay.
Hello. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Oh, glad you're here.
This resolution claims to be about fairness in sports, but there is no credible scientific evidence presented to support that claim. The board is not citing peer-reviewed studies, guidance from major sports bodies, or any research for medical professionals. Instead, it relies on fear-based assumptions about transgender athletes. Organizations like the American Medical Association, the NCAA, and the International Olympic Committee have all recognized that transgender athletes do not inherently have an unfair advantage. Athletic ability varies greatly within any gender, and factors like training, coaching, and access to resources matter far more. Without solid evidence, this resolution is simply opinion dressed up as policy. This resolution not only lacks a factual foundation, it directly contradicts California AB 1266, which protects transgender students' rights to participate according to their gender identity. Passing it invites costly legal battles and undermines the board's credibility. The resolution also completely erases intersex students, those born with physical sex characteristics that don't typically fit definitions of male or female. These students already face stigma and misunderstanding, and policies like this make their lives even harder. By ignoring their existence, this board sends the message that some students simply don't count. That's unacceptable in any educational setting. History will remember who stood up for all students and who didn't. Thank you.
Thank you.
Terry Maxwell.
Name's Terry Maxwell. Appreciate you giving me the time to speak tonight. Anybody in their 20s or older probably remembers their first day of school ever. When the teacher came out and said, okay, now all the boys line up here and all the girls line up there. They didn't have a psychologist there, didn't have anybody who had to counsel them as to know whether they were a boy or a girl. That was something you didn't have to be taught when you went to school. You knew if you were a boy and you knew the other person was a girl. It was quite simple. And as you grew up, you realized that boys had an advantage athletically over girls. It was just given. Now, there were some girls who were phenomenal athletes, and they were able to play in men's sports for a long time until they finally get to the point where they're at the pinnacle of whatever that sport is. Think of tennis, think of golf, think of running, and that's usually where the difference really lies. Now, if you're a male and you're not real happy with the fact that you are ranked number 200, we had this society that really changed back when my sons were young, that everybody gets a trophy. And so now these guys who are, gosh, I want a trophy too, but I can't get a trophy if I'm the 200th ranked runner in the world. So why not go ahead and say that I'm a girl? Because society, for some reason, doesn't seem to think that, even though we knew that when I was in kindergarten, that what a boy and a girl was, they don't know what it is now. And all of this time, when Title IX was being discussed, that it was fair to have women's sports separated from men's sports and should get the same kind of interest and funding, it was a hard fight, and they fought to the point where Title IX was approved. And it was a good thing for the community. It was a good thing for the women to be able to have other women they can compete with and be able to stand on a trophy stand and get their due results for what they had achieved. This is diluting it. I understand there is anomalies in the XY and the XX. Those are anomalies, and they are a very, 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 very small portion of the people who are born into the world. If they really want to do something, the people who are transgender need to do the same thing that the women did and come up with Title what, 23? Where they develop their own athletics, that they compete against each other. Because again, we go to school knowing certain things. We go to school to learn other things. You shouldn't be having to go to school and being told, oh, when we lined you up as boys and girls, we probably weren't right with that. We shouldn't have done that. What's your sexual orientation? Because that's what we're going to determine it on now. It's a matter of fairness. And the only fair way to go about this is to look at what the science is, which is if you got XX, you're a girl. If you got XY, you're a boy. If you have some anomaly of that, then that's a separate issue that needs to be handled separately than what we're doing with this tonight. I am begging you to go ahead and pass this resolution and make sure that boys compete with boys and girls compete with girls. Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul Linfesti.
Thank you. LGBTQ plus students are already facing suicide rates more than 4 times higher than their peers. Every credible mental health organization has said that policies which exclude or stigmatize them make that risk even worse. School should be a safe place, a lifeline for students who may not be accepted at home. Resolutions like this make school feel hostile, unsafe, and unwelcoming for some of our most vulnerable kids. Please reject this resolution. Stand on the side of inclusion, legality, and what's best for all kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Jess Sanders.
I applaud you for pushing through with this. I agree that all students should be treated equally. All boys should be treated as boys. All girls should be treated as girls. All those that are confused should see a psychiatrist. Get the medical help they need. The normal children should not be subject to this so that they want to lean towards that or feel sympathy towards that. They should go with normal. If you need transgenders to play in sports, get an all transgender to play in sport, whatever. You're not going to see many girls wanting to be boys playing with the boys. You're only going to see the boys wanting to be girls beating up on the girls. So in the Olympics, they test men for steroid injections because that would give them an unfair advantage and maybe even hurt somebody. It doesn't matter if it's natural. If I just want to say I'm a butterfly and I should have a special tree over there and be provided with whatever I need to be that, if you jump down my rabbit hole or these rabbit holes, you got to jump down everybody's rabbit holes and nobody gets help. I don't care what people grow up to be. I just don't want it taught in our schools that it's normal, because it's not. So if you're a boy playing boy sports, my daughter was never subject to a male being in the locker room, or I would have been arrested. It's wrong. Young ladies should not have to put up with that. Young men should not have to be in a restroom where people that want to be boys are using tampons. That's goofy. So I applaud you for pushing through with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Jess.
Dennis McLean.
Good evening again. I am in support of President Trump and the Department of Education to ban biological males from female sports. The fight for Title IX rights has finally taken hold in our nation. With the California Department of Education opposing this executive order, I call for your board to write a resolution in support of the president's ban for biological males in girls' sports. Now is the time for this county to stand up for our rights and reject the radical gender ideology that is destroying the youth of today. I ask your board to lead the way in Kern County and show the governor we support Trump's common sense leadership. Thank you.
Thank you.
Reina Olaguez.
Good evening. Decisions about sports eligibility are already managed by state law and local school districts. This resolution is not about governance. It's a political statement meant to send a message. Unfortunately, the message it sends is that the board is willing to target our most vulnerable students for political gain. That is not leadership, and it is not what our community expects from its elected representatives. Our students deserve better, and they deserve dignity and respect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alyssa Jones.
At its core, this resolution is not about athletics. It is about enforcing a rigid, exclusionary worldview. It reflects the talking points of extremist Christian nationalist groups that seek to erase intersex and transgender people from public life. It's a shame most of our local churches exclude this community from fellowship. So it's more important our public schools are for everyone, not just those who fit one narrow definition of gender or faith. We must reject policies rooted in religious ideology that violate the separation of church and state and our shared values of diversity and inclusion. We as Christians should serve this world as Christ's stewards and leave the judgment to Him. We should be modeling compassion and fairness, not discrimination. The young people in our community are watching and learning from your actions. Please show them what integrity looks like.
Thank you.
Michelle.
Hi, I'm Dr. Oya. I'm an educator. I'm a professor at a local college. I'm taking time out of my my weeks before school starts to come talk to you. And I'm a professor of psychology. I have taught human sexuality. This resolution is performative, and it's performing for the wrong people. Your job is to protect and support all students, even if it's a small portion. So I ask that you not be swayed by politics and you follow actual science, not uninformed opinions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brittany Bryn.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brittany. I'm a Democrat, and I'm also a Christian. I have my short statement as a Christian, Christian woman that Christian we come to as a Christian today I want to talk about the Christian nationalism. The resolution is about the Christian nationalism, a basically, they we have as I read through this talking points, we can talk about religion outside of the school, and we can only hope that in this community that the students should even talk about faith in God, when faith in God and what we and what we stand for as a Christian, and we all know that we follow the resolution, and that's what evangelizing at school is very, very important. So I agree with this lady about the resolution, about the Christian nationalism, and that's why I'm supporting this bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany.
Erica Hockad? Sorry.
Did she get it right?
Hawkyard, it's okay. So this resolution claims to protect women in sports, but it doesn't actually address fairness in athletics broadly. It singles out trans women, talking about, if the board truly cared about fairness, it would talk about equal funding for girls' programs, better coaching resources, and ensuring that all students have the equipment they need. Instead, this resolution targets one marginalized group while ignoring real inequities. That's a double standard and a distraction from genuine solutions. Protecting women means protecting all women, including trans women. If the board truly cared about fairness in sports, they'd invest in access, resources, and opportunities for all, not exclusion. This resolution protects no one, but it does harm. For instance, how would we go about enforcing a resolution that bars trans young girls from participating in sports? That opens up all children to exploitation and harm, right? So we need to look at practical solutions for inclusion for all kids. And there are guidelines for that already at the state and NCAA level. So I think we should focus on those. Thank you.
Thank you. We don't have any further, okay, thank you. Discussion by the board?
I'll start us off.
Okay.
A couple weeks ago, I met with our attorney, Abby Offant, and Superintendent John Mendeborough to discuss this resolution in support of Title IX. And we used, as I brought last month, the Orange County resolution as a template, since they're a county board. And it was already approved by their board with their attorneys. Ms. Offant verified that the resolution complies with Ed Code and California law. And I have the resolution here. Should I go ahead and read it now? Okay. Yes, I believe everyone has a copy in their packet. So whereas the Kern County Board of Education Board is committed to upholding fairness, safety, and equal opportunities for all student athletes, And whereas Title IX of the Federal Education Amendments of 1972 was enacted to prohibit sex-based discrimination in any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance, ensuring that female athletes have equal opportunities to compete and excel in sports. And whereas Title IX has played a critical role in expanding opportunities for female athletes, promoting their fair competition, and increasing access to scholarships and other athletic advancements. And whereas biological differences between male and female athletes can create inherent advantages in competitive sports, particularly in categories explicitly designated for girls. And whereas the California Interscholastic Federation, CIF, is responsible for governing interscholastic athletics and must ensure that policies aligned with the principles of fairness, safety, and equal opportunity as outlined in Title IX. And whereas protecting the integrity of girls' sports is essential to maintaining an even playing field for female athletes and preserving the intent of Title IX. Now therefore be it resolved that the Kern County Board of Education affirms its unwavering support for Title IX and calls on athletic governing bodies to uphold its protections by ensuring fairness in girls' sports, and be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be forwarded to the Governor of California, the California State Legislature, the California Department of Education, and the CIF to demonstrate the board's commitment to protecting female student athletes.
Trustee Cisneros, I like the resolution, but I do have a question
Okay.
on that. On the, where it says girls' sports, it would also include boys' sports as well? Because I think both are at risk.
For the 1, 2, 3, 4, whereas, where it talks about the biological differences, is that what you're looking at?
Well, anytime it says girls' sports, and it
Okay.
says that in a couple of different places that I see here. But I do think that boys' sports are targeted as well. And they could be.
Could be. I mean, I understand that. That could be. And I would be okay including boys in here. I think it's because of the biological differences that the biological boys have an advantage, strength-wise.
And I understand that.
Okay.
I do. I mean, we could leave it as is. I'm just saying that that would be my
I think it came
suggestion.
from, I think a lot of it came from the last CIF that we just had in Clovis, where we had the transgender male in the track and field that took all the, he won two track and fields and 1 second in the track and field. And I think that's where it was mostly, I guess, the girls versus the boys, because you don't really see a transgender girl in boys' sports.
Not usually.
Not usually. You see more of the transgender male in the girls' sports. So we're basically trying to protect the girls' sports that we fought so hard in the 70s for. Yeah. But I mean, I can see both, because you never know. You know, you don't know if that would ever happen. So.
I can see that.
Well, Title IX is specific
Specifically
to girls' sports.
Well,
correct.
that is true.
That it is specific to girls' sports, because that's what we fought for.
That
to
is
have
true.
equal rights as boys.
It was the title before that was for the,
Right.
okay.
Right. So President Trump, and I know I spoke about this already before, is just working to bring Title IX back to its original intent. During the Obama administration and Biden administration, the wording was changed to gender identities
Correct.
and sexual orientation.
Correct.
So the Trump administration is removing those and bringing it back to its original intent with biological males and females,
Correct.
just to clarify on that.
And did he not put in some type of act or something that's going to confirm this type of resolution?
So yes, he did write a couple of executive orders, if that's what you're referring to.
Correct.
Yes. And I do eventually want to add that to this resolution. As it stands right now, this is complying with California state law. And since we're in California, we're focusing more on what Title IX is about here. But I do want to eventually add the language that the Trump administration has passed as far as executive orders. So he has an executive order that states defending women from gender ideology extremism and restoring biological truth to the federal government, and another executive order that says ending radical indoctrination in K-12 schooling. So those are the two executive orders that Colorado has included in their resolution. The Colorado state ed codes are a little different than where we're at in California. I'll just leave it at that. So this aligns with both the way it's written in front of you with the resolution I'm bringing to you.
Any further discussion? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
And who's going to claim that one? Lori? Okay. That's been first and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any discussion? So ordered.
I do have one more thing to say. Yes, we can clap on that. Thank you. I would like to discuss adding all of our signatures to this resolution as well, including the superintendent's signature.
I'll be happy to.
And when did you want that to go out?
As soon as possible, when it's ready to go. And do we have a page
It's
for?
right, he's sending it right down to you.
Do you have one that has all of our names on it?
No, we can have it though, if we like.
Is that
So-
something that needs to be approved by the board?
Not necessarily if we're going to say that it's going to be there, but then we wouldn't be able to send it out right away because it has to, we'd have to come down here and sign it.
Can Steve print out a new one tonight? Sweet.
Tonight? Okay,
There
here
we
we
go.
go.
Good job,
You're our
Steve.
hero.
Yes.
All right, we will, we will get that signed and sent out then. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Steve. And thank you, board.
Yep.
All right.
Too many people in schools.
We're on action item 4.24, adoption of resolution designating September as school attendees awareness month.
This is an annual resolution that the board signs every year to encourage school attendance awareness and students to attend school on a daily basis.
I move to approve the resolution.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any discussion? So ordered. Thank you. And 4.25, approval of consolidated application.
The CONAP that's in front of you is an annual application. This reflects the alternative education program. It's the only program that meets the consolidated app, and it's how the alt ed program is funded and how we allocate the funds. So this is an annual updated document.
Motion?
Motion.
Second.
It's been first and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So ordered. Thank you. 4.26, approval of loan and security agreement for semi-tropic school district.
Alrighty, in front of you, or not in front of you, but I wanted to discuss with you tonight an intention to loan the semi-tropic school district a temporary loan. This loan is due to the fact that they had to dip into their reserves to pay back the California Department of Education. They were over apportioned their money a couple of years ago because of enrollment, And as enrollment declined, they received the dollars before their next P2 data collection was done. When that was submitted, then they had to pay back the state. The last couple of years, we've been discussing with them their financial hardship and that they were getting closer and closer to dipping into their reserves. This year, they went below that and they had to dip into their reserves. Because of it, they are short $500,000 in their budget. They're a small school district. That is a big chunk of their budget. So we are obligated to step in and to either fund them or submit them to the state of California, which then the state would then turn back to us and say, you need to help them. So we are going to be proactive on this, and with your approval, we will make them provide them a temporary loan of $500,000, which they will pay back. They have till June of 2027 to pay it back, and also with a 3% interest rate that they have to pay us back on. Because of that, once you approve this loan tonight, then they become a steward of the county superintendent of schools. We will appoint a designee who will then have detailed micro authority to go through all of expenditures prior to that expense being made moving into the new school year. So they've already taken action at their board a couple weeks ago and have approved to take the dollars from our office, and they're understanding the partnership that they will be entering into. They have also started making some adjustments to their budget going into the next year. So last year, their budget was considered qualified budget, meaning that they were on the brink of going negative and they had to make some adjustments. And then last year, they received the last statement from the California Department of Ed saying, you owe us more money because their enrollment has dipped. And they were already prepaid that money. So because of that, it entered them into a negative budget going into this year. They do not have enough money to keep that required reserve that the state requires. So
I remember when McKittrick, I believe, that did that.
Southern Kern.
Southern
Yes.
Kern. And we monitored that until they actually folded their school. We also sent a board member to their board meetings to monitor it, and we would report back. Is that necessary at this time?
Oh, that
'Cause I
was
wa-
during, was
yeah.
that with the Belridge?
Correct,
Yeah,
because
that
I
was
had to go,
Belridge.
I had to go
Yeah.
out there several times.
Yeah, that was with the Belridge lapsation where Belridge School District merged with McKittrick. That's where you're getting McKittrick.
Right.
Yeah. Southern Kern was done back in 2017, somewhere around there. They needed a lot larger. No county board was appointed at that board meeting. That board. It was in Belridge McKittrick merger is where you guys were appointed during
So
that
why
time.
is their
period.
attendance getting so low? Just
Their school is a school of choice where they take students from the surrounding areas. A lot of their students come from Wasco. And a lot of those parents over the years are just staying in Wasco just because of transportation and such. And so the district kept their grade levels, one teacher per grade level might have 8 kids, 10 kids. They didn't combine classes. They have a brand new superintendent who's been trying to get things turned around out there. And so, but they, with the California Department of Ed needing their money back because they were over apportioned, that's what brought them into this area.
So you will not need a board member to help monitor.
No, there won't be a need for a board member. What we're trying to do is help them so that it doesn't get turned over to the state, where then the state comes in and does even additional stuff, so.
Do we have figures on their average daily attendance right now? Their attendance?
Oh, their daily average attendance?
Yeah, daily average.
They're hovering around under 95% right now. They're about 300 student population, and that's where the other problem is. They budgeted their school at a higher attendance rate, so they're budgeting at a 97% attendance rate, and they've been closer to the low 90s. And so the
is
state
there-
will apportion throughout the year based on a 97% attendance, and then come April when they submit your last attendance, if it's lower than that, then the state takes back what you already got front-loaded. They didn't have enough money to pay it back, so they had to dip into their reserves, which put them in this predicament right now.
Is there a plan in action in case they do not meet this criteria to keep?
Then it gets submitted to the state of California, and then FCMAT would come in, the Fiscal Crisis Management Assistant Team, which is operated in, under the Kern County Superintendent of Schools office anyway. So we've been working with them on the side on steps to take. Our appointee, we have a Deputy Superintendent, Russell Sentes, who will be appointed to oversee the district. The superintendent and board still have authority and power to operate and control the district, but when it comes to expenditures and spending, they have to have approval by this office prior to doing that. So we would be able to help them kind of rebuild and reassess and establish the different policies, protocols that they need to move forward. We are hopeful, and if they follow based on what we're looking at right now, we don't have any concerns that they won't be able to repay it by the June 2027 deadline.
Also too, that's also, as I recall, that's an agricultural area. out there.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's kind of up and down,
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I don't think that it's a big risk.
No, we wouldn't have entered in this if we felt, if it was so out of control, then we're obligated to submit to FCMAT. Then FCMAT would come in, and then they would turn it over to the state of California, very similar like to Oakland, Inglewood, those districts. Those state controlled at this point. The state funds them the money, and then the superintendent and the board lose all authority at that point in time. But right now, we don't believe that's needed. It just needs some help. You have to also remember the superintendent is both the superintendent, the principal, the CBO. So any help we can help would be greatly appreciated by the district.
Do we have a motion?
I motion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any discussion? It's ordered, thank you. And we're going to do 4.27, and I did put that in the agenda at the start of the meeting. ACCBE is part of our effective governance now, and we are formally in that organization. I think they have added like 13 counties recently, so it is growing. Oh, Johns County.
2/3 of the county.
2/3, so, it is going to be in lieu of CSBA now, so if we want to, and Julie, you never did get, okay, so you didn't get confirmation from that, so we are now at a phase where we can say we want to send a delegate to ACCBE. So do we have a nomination of who would like that position?
I nominate Julie.
Respectfully decline.
She's
Okay, so
a-
I'll nominate
Respectfully
Lori.
decline.
You declining? I'll do Lori. I'll nominate Lori to go.
Thank you. I accept that nomination. Thank you.
Okay, all those,
Who's gonna decline it? I'll do Lori.
Only because I have taken on some bigger things at work.
that's totally acceptable. We'll let you slide on that
Well, I
one.
just thought rodeo. I mean, when he
Well,
said Julie, I said,
that's
oh,
one
God,
of the
rodeo.
She runs
I know what she
rodeo.
does. Sorry.
Well, we are
Sorry,
honored
Joe,
to
I know
have
what
a
she
trustee
does.
Cisneros take that position, so I thank you very much for trustee Cisneros doing that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
You
opposed?
get all the fun
All
stuff.
right.
That's so ordered. Thank you, trustee Cisneros. Report of county board members will go from trustee Cisneros.
So from here, then, I go to I probably should ask this
You
before.
will be
Let's go.
Well, we will send them the information, and then they will send you all.
They'll
the
reach out to me.
right.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Unless we
Think
should
of it
have
as a
Dale, huh?
vacation on the county.
What was that, trustee Askew?
I said, maybe we should ask Dale.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, we should.
Where is he? Oh, there. Is that a thumbs up? That's my husband back there. No, I'm good. Thank you so much.
You have a report. That's why I asked you.
Whatever you're thinking.
That all happened so fast. Okay, yes. Yes, I have Okay, let me start with this. I had the honor of attending the Community Learning Center, and I'm sorry if I'm stealing your thunder here, but the Community Learning Center Junior High Summer Program Showcase on July 11th. I believe that was after our board meeting, yeah. So that was an amazing experience at the Learning Center. These students, it was kind of a pilot program that they tried this summer with workshops on learning how to bake and canning, welding, woodworking, sewing. They even learned swimming. They were able to go to the local pool and learn swimming lessons, and they came away with a CPR certification. So it was, I know Trustee Eskew was there with me. I won't take all of it, but it was so fun to see these students. And I just have to say, the best part about it, in my mind, was at the end, they had a red carpet that they walked down to receive their certification. And at one point in the program, they had an opportunity to go to the microphone and share their experience and just to see their confidence in themselves. And these students, you know, they have it rough, a lot of them. So to find that confidence and to come away with some skills that they can take with them forever is just, I know KCSOS was a big part of that. So I just really appreciate, Dr. Mendeborough, all that you and your staff are doing to support these types of events and workshops and summer programs and all the programs you're working on. I just was super excited to be there, so I wanted to share that. And then I've asked Dr. Mendeborough to have maybe Steve Sanders or whoever's in charge of the tech end of the KCSOS website to include a button for resolutions so that the public can easily see what we're working on and how to find it. We already have a button for policies, but this would be another button on our website to include resolutions, and he's given me the thumbs up that they're working on that. So, and then last month I talked about an event called See You at the Library that's coming up this Saturday, August 16th. We have a new library in town. It's a Christian library on Rosedale Highway, 3671 Rosedale Highway. It's right next to Tastries Bakery and John's Incredible Pizza. They are having a grand opening this Saturday, and they're doing this See You at the Library event. The See You at the Library event was created by Kirk Cameron, and he's the author or the founder of Brave Books, which those books are geared for young people that talk about morality and valuing life and just encouraging young people with the giftings that they naturally have. But Kirk Cameron is not actually going to be present. I wanted to make sure that was clear because in the notes it looked like I said last month that he was going to be there. So I just want to clarify that. But there will be several community leaders that will be there reading books to children that are coming to this event, and I get to read a book. I'm excited about that. So that's this Saturday at 10 o'clock at the Christian Library, 3671 Rosedale Highway. And it is open to the public. There's another bill that was just passed, AB 379, which the co-author was our Senator Shannon Grove. It's called the Survivor Support and Demand Reduction Act. It was passed and made into law July 30th, 2025, and it is now a felony to buy sex from anyone under 18 in California, and creates a survivor support fund for victim services. It also increases penalties for repeat offenders and directs fines towards programs aiding trafficking survivors. So that is a huge, yes, a huge win for that, yes. And then there's another assembly bill that was signed into law, 727, AB 727, and that mandates that starting July 1 of 26, so next year, public and private schools serving students in grades 7 through 12, as well as higher education institutions that issue student identification cards, must print the Trevor Project's 24/7 suicide prevention hotline contact information on those cards. And I know we're a year out, but I just want to bring it to our attention. I did check in with Dr. Mendebro about that. So far, we are not using the Trevor Project's hotline, but this is a law that is signed in California. So I don't know where we're going to be in July of 26 with that, but the Trevor Project is a hotline specifically for the LGBTQ students, and I do believe that the students in the LGBTQ community need a hotline for sure for help with suicidal thoughts. I realize, and I heard the comments tonight, that these students do struggle with identity and they are in crisis sometimes, and that there needs to be something out there to help them. However, the Trevor Project really pushes for gender identification questioning. So one of the things they state when you call the hotline is they say, if you decide that your current gender, and this is a quote, if you decide that your current gender or sex it just isn't right for you, you may want to make your gender identity fit with your ideal gender expression and presentation. So in my opinion, that is grooming for questioning their identity, and maybe they didn't have that question going into it. So it's a dangerous direction for these students who are already suicidal, that are calling this hotline to then question, are they in the right body? Are they, do they need to change their gender? So I just have a lot of red flags going off about this. I realize these students do need help. I want to make sure to reiterate that, because I know that they are in crisis and they need help. So this is supposed to be coming in July of 26. So I just wanted to bring it to our attention to see what we're going to do about that. I know you don't have any answers tonight, but just to kind of let you know it's coming and see how we will address that when it comes. But it is signed into law. So, and then one last thing, there was a case, Mohammed v. Taylor case, and the ruling has national implications as it affirms that public schools must accommodate parental requests to opt out of specific lessons that conflict with sincerely held religious beliefs. So my last question for Dr. Mendebro is, do we have an opt-out letter template for parents to sign? Do we have something available if something comes up in the curriculum and they want their child to opt out?
Right now, under state law, the only opt-out in California is for sex ed.
Okay.
Any other areas of curriculum, like religious studies is a good example. So in junior high and high school, when they talk about religious studies, parents have a right to call the school and talk to the school about having their child do alternative curriculum instead of that particular. And that's how most schools operate currently. There is no official form or anything. The state already has come out with their statement based on that, and reminded everybody they only have one opt-out opportunity. It's for sex ed, but every district can look at how parent involvement as it relates to religion, because there is laws about, conflict between religion and what they're being put in front of. So every district is looking at that, but there is no formal template per se, like you're asking, like there is with the sex ed.
Okay, so, and you're talking about religious-based curriculum, and I'm thinking this is also something available for parents who don't want their student exposed to critical race theory or any gender discussions or that end of sex ed. So
I don't know how the schools are going to monitor all this.
I don't know either. Is there
It's like crazy.
Is there a way to with our, okay, let's take the sex ed because I know that's already in place. So, does the school or district already inform parents ahead of time with this opt-out option so that
For
they
sex
can?
ed, yes, they are required to
Okay.
notify parents. Parents are able to examine the curriculum prior to the students being exposed to it.
Okay.
And then they can opt out. I know
Okay.
when I was in the school district, we had several parents who would call and say, I do not want my child in that portion. So then we would give them an alternative class during that period, who's during junior high. And so they would get a different period. They might have, study hall, something different.
Okay.
During that period of time, then they would not
Okay.
be penalized for anything that they missed during that time period. And I know
Okay.
it's true with other programs like, or other curricular,
Mhm.
like religious studies. We've had parents who call and they don't want that portion, that chapter of social studies, so the students will get some alternative assignment or a different class placement.
Okay, thank you. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Robinson?
Thank you. I'm going to be attending I'm going to have an opportunity to read this Saturday too at the new library. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be a blast. I'm an English teacher, and I believe that the 4 domains of communication, reading, writing, speaking, and listening, are fundamental skills that students need to develop starting in grade 1, actually starting kindergarten, getting used to the idea, the excitement of knowing things. It has a tendency to go ahead and kind of defray confusion. All right, they've got something that they can rely upon. They're not completely, puzzled by words that they run across, because they have an opportunity to go ahead and hone their communication skills to where confusion doesn't happen as frequently as apparently it does now. There's been a lot of talk. AB 495 is about vulnerabilities, particularly vulnerabilities of students. All right, these are children. And for them to be used as kind of a shuttlecock, or to have people sit there and say that this is a political thing that is being put forth, is completely disregarding the fact that we are talking about the least of our society. I mean the youngest and the most vulnerable in our society. I did not mean the least, excuse me, I misspoke. And it is about vulnerability. I mean, part of the reason that I think a lot of us are here is because we're looking around at the students that we see, and we recognize those vulnerabilities. And we are reflecting the views of the people who asked us to come here and serve. And I do believe that we do serve with integrity and with all intention of doing the absolute best that we can for everyone. It's not going to be easy for some, but we are looking out for the vulnerable. We are looking out for the students. We are looking out for the children. And that is something that I feel inordinately proud of. I mean, an opportunity to go ahead and do this. I don't reject conflict. As a matter of fact, opposition. As a matter of fact, sometimes I welcome it. I love good, robust debate about things. And, but I want to make sure that, once again, we're not using children as a shuttlecock in kind of a badminton game of issues going back and forth. We seem to be coming out of it now, to one extent or another. So I do want everybody here, even though they may not agree with me, I may not agree with you, that we are here to go ahead and serve specifically students. And I think that's something that needs to be said a little more often, and folks need to recognize that that is what we are here for. Agree or disagree. This is what we do, and I think that all of us are very, very proud to be doing what we're doing. So please understand our intentions. They are meant to be graceful, and they are meant to abide by the law.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, should we go down to trustee Mercado?
Nothing for me, thank you.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Trustee Eskew?
Well, okay, Lori, I'm still going to say something about July 11th. You know, it was a lot of fun to be part of the, so there was 15 students. They did not, the summer school program was a 6-week program. It wasn't mandatory, they were handpicked. And Sal Arias, the principal, he was very proud of those kids. But I want to just focus on one of the students there. He came all the way from Roseman. He did not miss one day. And they had a little incentive for them. They got to, they actually, if they passed the class, they were allowed to return to their school districts early. So you have to realize these kids are in an alternative school, and that's who that's who we govern, is the alternative schools. So it was kind of the incentive, but he came from Roseman every day, got up, got dressed. It wasn't mandatory for him to come down here, and he was there every day. He never missed one day and got to go back to his school district. And they were certified in CPR. One kid was amazing in swimming, but it was so neat just to be there. And, you know, so thank you for what you guys do. It was just an opportunity for me to be there. But I also saw where they had like back to school night at the alternative school, open house coming up, those kind of things. Can we go to those and be proactive?
Of course.
I would love to do that. Alternative schools kind of where I started. This is kind of going back circle for me. Also, I had the privilege, my husband and I, one of our spiritual children graduated from the Sheriff Academy. So we got to go watch that graduation. A little emotional for us with our law enforcement background. So it's kind of full circles to see the next generation coming up. So that was kind of fun for us to do. Also, let's see. Oh, I will be reading at the back to school, or what is it called we're doing, the Christian?
Yeah.
But we're going to be special guests there. So Santa and Mrs. Claus will be at the Christian Library in Rosedale. We're going to make a special appearance, and Mrs. Claus will be reading a Christian Christmas book there. So I'm encouraging everybody to come down, get an early Christmas picture with us. We will be in full gear in the 100-degree weather. So please pray for us. We will be in full uniform on that day.
Brave souls.
Yes, so we will be supporting that library. So see you at the library in full gear. And then let's see, what else do I have? Oh, KCSO's got Calm with ice cream coming up. That's right. Two of my favorite things, Calm and ice cream. So that's the same day, 5:30 to 7:30. I just want to throw that out there, Steve. You know, that's one of my favorite things, Calm. So before I was on the board, I always supported Calm. Make sure I went out at Christmas time. Always took our grandkids out there. I always get to see Steve. He runs the train out there. So it was kind of funny. He's like, "Oh, you guys come out here." This was after Christmas. We don't get to go during Christmas. We get to go after. And I'm like, "I've always came out here. You just didn't know who I was." So I wanted to throw that out there. You guys come out and support. We're going to try to come out there because I love ice cream and I love Calm. And also, I've asked Dr. Mendeborough, I was going to put a sticky note on your computer. So people ask me about our budget and what we do, and I don't know. I don't even know how to tell them about our budget and what we do. So I don't know, can I come and you guys explain it to me, what we do?
I'll be doing a presentation next month on KCSOS, the departments and functions of KCSOS, and we will be including that.
Oh,
in there as well.
thank
We were going
you.
to do it this month, but all the other presentations.
Okay,
And we
that
were
would be
supposed to have, we were
awesome.
supposed to have quarterly reports as well, right? We did talk about putting quarterly reports in.
That's during the interim reports.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, because Sacramento just had a budget, or had a whole board resign because they really messed their budget up. They used their funds inappropriately.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yes, they did. And so people are like asking me questions. I'm like, this is my first year. I get a pass. So, So yeah, I've been using my pass quite often. So anyway, I think that's it, you guys.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
but anyway, come out and support the Christian library, you guys. Really, Santa and I will be in full gear. Come get your pictures early before Christmas. So yeah, before it gets crazy. So thanks, that's it.
Julie, it's good to have you back.
Thank you. I apologize for my 2 absences. One was the moved meeting in May when we shifted the date, just cut into something else. And then I've really been on ranch fire duty with the Gifford and the Madre fire. So nice to be back. I do appreciate the resolutions that were brought forward. I do want to continue to ask the board to, let's look at what's happening in our schools and what we can do to increase our math and our reading and writing scores and get these kids to graduation. And then I just want to wish everybody a happy first day of school. Everybody's headed back tomorrow. That includes teachers, parents, kids, and that's it for me.
Thank you. Speaking of calm, my granddaughter works there. She absolutely loves it. She wants that to make it her full-time career for life, and she was just hired full-time there, so she's so excited. So now she's going to try to get her own apartment. On ACC BE, there, just to let you know, I did have Merrill send to everybody an email with all this information, so it is on there. But they do have a quarterly county board effective governance practice coming up. It is online. It's September 22nd at 6 to 7:30 p.m. And then on October 9th, they have a County Board of Education Court and Community School deep dive Zoom, which I would love to attend, and that's from 6 to 8. You can also download their ACCBE handbook, so I want to make sure that you're all aware of that. We need to sign the resolution before you leave. Steve, do you have it ready? Okay, so make sure we sign that before we leave. And I want to show the public our new shirts. We have new shirts with the county emblem on there for our County Board of Education, which is different than the Superintendent of Schools because we are a different entity. But we can start wearing this to public events and our board meetings and stuff, so I'm really excited to have some shirts made for us, so thank you for that.
Yes, and there's a flag on the sleeve. I just want to point that out. I really like that.
We have a flag.
And so, Annabelle, do you have a report?
No, thank you, though.
And you're free to report every month, and so if you want to report on the actions that we've taken or how you felt about something that we've done or something that you want to bring up that's going on in your school, feel free.
Thank you. I will bear that in mind.
Thank you.
And that was a very, very well-placed response, by the way, to that question. You did quite
It's a
well.
little overwhelming the first night.
Yes,
We
so
all understand.
I'm sure you learned a lot just for the first night. And again, thank you for being here. We look forward to having a good relationship with you.
Amen.
Dr. Mendenborough, your report, please.
I just have a couple of items tonight. One is, a couple months ago, there was a presentation to the board in regards to human trafficking and the support that school districts are requesting. So we've talked to the districts, and what we have done is we've hired a prevention specialist at our alternative education program. We hired Odessa Perkins to take that position.
Yes.
She was the counselor over at Kern High School District, and she applied for the position, and we're very excited to have her join us. Her job will be to be working with the alternative education students. Sadly, there are students who are part of that human trafficking. And so she'll be there to provide assistance and guidance to any of the students, be providing trainings, workshops for the parents and families. But then we're also going to be utilizing her with various school districts that may need that additional support that they can't do within their own district. And then she will also be providing countywide information nights and sessions for families. So that way a school district doesn't feel like they need to bring them in particularly to their particular school district. We can do regional and partner with the various school districts in that region and to offer community events. So I just wanted the board to know that that was going to be taking place here in the future. Also, to let you know that, as Lori mentioned, for the dates for All Dead, once the All Dead division gets all their dates in order for the year, we will provide the board with all of the events that are going on at the different sites. We do have a couple of sites beyond just Blanton. We do have North Kern. That's a pretty big campus as well. So we'll be providing you all those information, the open houses and everything, that if you do want to attend, you are welcome to attend to see your program in place. So we'll get that going. And other than that, school districts are opening up tomorrow. Some have already opened at the end of July, all the way through tomorrow or Thursday. Some districts will start on Thursday. But everybody's starting this week in Kern County. We're getting enrollment coming in and out, fluctuating. Parents, particularly that moved into Kern, not realizing how early we start compared to some other counties. And so they're last minute trying to get in and all that fun stuff. So we are, the districts are moving and grooving as we move forward, so.
I have one additional item. You may notice that we don't have law enforcement here anymore. So their contract ran out, and actually the grant monies. So we had talked about it not being ongoing after the grant money ran out, because I don't really think that it's necessary to have police protection here. We've never had any problems. I think our students are more at risk than us, and they need the protection. So if there's any protection needed, it's our students, right? And so I don't think that we need any further police protection here. If you're all in favor with that, I think it's good to go, and we don't. Okay, I just wanted to let you know that that was no longer needed. Meeting is adjourned. Our next meeting is September 25th, 25. Thank you, everyone.